All right, welcome to my FX Buddies, the podcast. Oh, I'm not situated right. Okay. And I say podcast because there's also a blog, and the blog can be found, and the blog should be found. Okay, you should be going to the blog, myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. And also you could try myfxbuddies.com, but you have to use HTTPS in front of it. YouTube, if you are listening to this on YouTube, because indeed that's what you were doing, you're just listening. It's a podcast that has a static image on YouTube. If you want to see the articles and things that I'm discussing in this, what you're hearing, you have to go to the blog or rumble.com, my FX Buddies. Anywhere that I post, I'm under my FX Buddies, right? But the benefit of going to the blog is the whole article's there. I only focus on the part that grabs my attention. So you may want to read the full article and find information that grabs you. All right. RSS.com has a transcript. Yes, YouTube has one, but it's not very good. RSS.com has a transcript, so that will help you. That will help decode me even further. Okay, I think that's it. But wherever you are enjoying this content, if there's a info, more, description, some type of box like that, intro, some places it's called intro, click on that and there should be a link directly to the blog. All right. And then I think I put a link where you can subscribe to the blog, but I don't know. Don't rely on that. Anyway, all right. So let's get into it. Good morning. I'm going to say good morning because it is about 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time as I post this, because yesterday, Monday, was a crazy day. And then, I don't know why these computers like to fight with me, but I lost yesterday. But I'm winning today. So, all right, so we'll get into it. International Monetary Fund expects growth in the Iraqi economy. Should we be excited about this? We should be encouraged, but we've heard this before. At least twice a year, every year, the IMF says something about Iraq's growth, or it's not going to grow, or whatever. But I do like that it's right around the time when we're looking for a rate change, right? So I like to see this. Let's see, this is a short article. He added, the guy's name is Ghazi, and again, I will say you go ahead and pronounce that last name of his. There has been growth in the Iraqi economy in light of the reforms adopted by the government. And then there's just a little bit more, but, whatever. So I just like that article. It had a picture, and it's a good short title also. Okay, here, central bank. So we went was it a week without hearing from Aliyah Locke or the central bank? And I think there's three things we heard. Central bank discusses banking supervision with the World Bank. So this was from Sunday, but I didn't see it until Monday. Today, Sunday, Baghdad governor of the CBI, Ali Mohsen Al-Alak, right? And I think he has one more name, received a delegation from the International Finance Corporation, which is abbreviated IFC. They're affiliated with the World Bank Group. And let's see, they do fund, ESG. I was going to say they do fund something different. There's all these divisions where their specialty is something different. and this is one of them. But it's still the World Bank. So also what they did was they went over the national lending strategy proposed by the CBI. All right. So that's another little not so long article. Here, Iraq's financial revenues exceed 42 trillion dinars within 4 months. It's just always nice to see them talking about their foreign reserves, whether it's gold. Shoot. There's an article from the World Gold Council I meant to put here. Doggone it. Oh well. Maybe I'll do it post-production, or maybe I'll just do it tomorrow. And if you heard that music, I'm watching, as I always do, watching Iraqi TV, and this little intro right here is a little louder than the rest of it, so just ignore it. Okay, so now this is interesting that they put out another article about their reserves, because over the weekend they put one where some of their reserves had disappeared. And remember, I was like, where did they go? What did they take that money for? Matter of fact, I think it was gold. They decreased their gold holdings. And I'm like, where did it go? Are they stashing gold somewhere that we don't know about? Possibly. All right. So then they come out again and say, oh, but don't worry. Look at, we still have all of this. And over 4 months, it increased. All right. So if you want to read that, you can. I don't know why it's spaced like that. And also, they're saying that, yes, we're still relying on oil as our basic source of revenue, but so far we haven't had to borrow money from abroad, and thus indicates an ability to manage effectively using state funds and the inability to find alternative financing solutions. So can you imagine you're sitting on, okay, that's really loud. You're sitting on just oil, goo gobs of oil, liquid gas, and then here comes a third party that, I'm going to bite my tongue on that. But they say, yeah, we know you're swimming in all this really expensive oil here, but we want you to make money from other things. And if you don't, we're going to say that you don't know how to earn money. Right? In essence, that's what they're saying. But anyway, it's such a joke. But anyway. All right. Because as soon as they're unleashed, right, as soon as they can bring in all the investors that want to come in, then trust me, they're going to have, what do they say, money coming in hand over fist? But anyway, all right. So yesterday was the 10th anniversary of the fall of Mosul. So there was ceremonies and stuff. And there's a speech he gave, and I just want to read this part to you. He being Sadani. Sadani pointed out the Iraqis were able, through their sacrifices and with the help of friends and honorable people, to break the wave of extremism and terrorism in its ugliest and most brutal forms. So they're talking about ISIS, what we call ISIS, but they call Daesh, right? And to achieve the civilizational victory on behalf of the free world, stressing that the remnants of terrorism no longer pose a threat to the existence of the Iraqi state. So you can also read that as, we kicked ISIS out. Troops, we don't need you anymore, right? That's a nice little way to throw in a little hint at your ceremony, right? So then he pointed out that the Iraqi people today enjoy security and stability as a result of that just confrontation and what our righteous martyrs provided, and made the pace of work continue at its best with a high determination to bring about an economic and humanitarian renaissance and a qualitative transition to a free and dignified life worthy of the name of Iraq. I love those words. And at one time, that's what people said. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Okay, this is another article about another branch joining the operating system, the comprehensive bank system. All right. American forces will remain in the military bases with only their description changing. So this is political analyst Qasim, and I'm not even going to try to say his last name. He said this on Monday that American forces will not leave Iraqi territory and will remain in the camps while changing the capacity in which they are present inside Iraq. There is no actual move to end the presence of American forces in military bases, and what will happen is to change the capacity in which these forces are present. So what else can they be? They were over there as advisors. And then what was the other name? They changed them from they were over there as contractors. And then something happened and they were like, hey, we need you contractors to get out. Okay. But these guys right here, they're going to stay and they're just going to be called advisors. All right. They're still going to have the same uniform, same gun, same everything. But instead of contractors, they're now advisors. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's okay. Right? That is what happened. So then the next thing that happened, they said, oh, okay, advisors, you have to go. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Okay, it's time for us to switch out our people anyway. After 2 or 4 years, we switch them out. Okay, but we're gonna bring in some NATO people. Is that all right? NATO, same guys, Chad, Bob, Drake, but they're gonna be wearing NATO uniforms this time. Is that okay? So what else can they call them? What else? It'll be interesting to see. They've been contractors, advisors, and then NATO people. Let's see what they'll be this time. So, and then I don't know that this guy's really complaining. It's more like he's stating this is how it's going to be, but I don't know that he has the authority to state that. So anyway, that'll be interesting. Well, actually, hopefully we won't be here to see that, but if we are, we'll just roll with it. Okay, Iraq expects to reach an agreement to resume oil exports through Turkey within days. And this is a Bloomberg article. So I'm like, what does Bloomberg know that the people in Iraq don't know? Because they left it like they still weren't close to resolving the issue. And here, this article says, within the next few days, a final understanding will be reached. So we shall see. And Bloomberg articles are usually pretty easy to read, right? They don't really get too deep. So even though this looks like it's long, it's really not, in my opinion. All right, there's my one commercial, but we'll skip it today. Let's see. This was a really big article. This article was out everywhere throughout the day. It came out different times of the day. And when they do that, they really want the citizens to see this article. So what it says, the Ministerial Council for the Economy decides to support the independence of the central bank in formulating monetary policy. And we already know this. It seems strange to me that they are reiterating this. So when you read through it, it just says they've done studies, they've evaluated partnerships, they list the people that are involved: Minister of Industry, Secretary General, the Council of Ministers, right? All the different positions. But then I got to thinking, maybe after 3 months Sudani was in, there was some new language. The new language was work in harmony. The government and the CBI will work in harmony. And I was like, that means maybe they're trying to pull the reins in on the CBI. I don't know. But now, with this language, and it repeats it 2 or 3 times, they are supporting the CBI's independence in formulating monetary policy in accordance with applicable laws and instructions. So, laws I don't too much care about, but instructions I like, because they're going to have to issue instructions to all the banks and the businesses on the new money, right? So, I like that. So maybe that's just another phase, that stage, phase, whatever, that we're going through. Well, look, I say we, that Iraq is going through, where they're again saying, look, the CBI is its own entity. It can make its own decisions in regards to monetary policy and applicable laws and instructions. So as time goes on, we'll see if, and then again, the fact that they have this posted on like all the websites and they really want the citizens to see this, there is some reason they're bringing this to our attention again. Okay, so there's 2 versions there if you'd like to read them. Yeah, the second one is it has more words, but it flows better, in my opinion. All right. Sudani creates a new directorate called Financial Investigation. It's a committee from 4 parties to study the proposal, which is the proposal to create a directorate specialized in financial investigation. And those of you who have been listening to me for years, what do I tell you? That's what Iraq does. Iraq gets together and says, hey, we should form a committee. And then they go, yeah, we should form a committee. And then they leave. And then the next one is, okay, I think we got the committee. And then the next one is, okay, yeah, we got the committee. Now, what are they going to do? So this is the first, and it's another little tiny article. And I always tell you guys, when they're little tiny articles, they usually have a huge impact. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what these people do, because they've been catching, or I don't know what the right word is. They've been recovering, right? They've been recovering stolen funds, catching people trying to smuggle money at different borders and passages. So what is this? This is a new thing, a new committee specifically for financial investigation. Okay. And it's comprised of a member of the Ministry of Finance, General Secretariat of Council of Ministers, someone from the Central Bank, and the Legal Advisor Department from the Prime Minister's office. Hold on, I need to clear my throat. All right, sorry about that. I don't know how to mute, so whatever. All right, so yeah, okay. Sudani is in Jordan. This article came out earlier. It says he was leaving, but it's already tomorrow over there, so he's in Jordan. The visit will discuss a number of security and economic files and developments in the region. I think it's just going to be a one day. Also, there's an international conference on this little area right here. AZA with a letter in front of it. Okay, so then also he'll possibly discuss the oil pipeline. Now remember yesterday's blog post? I said there were 2 articles about Jordan. The people or some businesses were complaining that we favor Jordan businesses over Iraq. We being the United States. We favor them over Iraqi. And then, oh, by the way, yeah, look, you just gave Jordan an oil field. What's up with that? So, a day after that article comes out, Sudani's hopping on the plane to Jordan. That's interesting, right? So, they're not ruling out the possibility of discussing the oil pipeline between the 2 countries during his discussions with King Abdullah II. So, yeah, all right. So, I don't think much is going to get done today, being Tuesday, with Sudani gone. And there was something else. Oh, well, it's a big deal to them. You know, soccer. One of their teams, one of Iraqi's soccer teams, is playing or competing against Vietnam. So that's a big deal. And they'll be, getting ready for that and stuff. Okay, here the UN Security Council adopts a U.S. draft resolution calling for a ceasefire. In that 4-letter word that I just said 3 of them. Okay, yeah. If you're on the blog, you can see because I have my cursor on it. So, they want more prisoners exchange, right? So, while it seems positive, we wait. We wait to see if it's approved by whoever they take it to after the UN, after they get their pre-agreement. Yeah. And I know who they take it to. I'm just not going to say them, right? Here they are. Here's who they are. They're waiting approval of the deal also. So, if you're on the blog or if you're watching the video, you can see what I'm talking about. All right? It has Ham in it. Ham. And it's a group that some people think are not very nice. Okay, hopefully that helps. All right, and look what I found. I was like, before I do this, let me look one more time. After returning it for the purpose of auditing, the Iraqi Facts, which is the Gazette, addressed Parliament to send the budget schedules. So, and I was not excuse me, I was able to find the judge's website. There was nothing there, and in fact, it doesn't look like that website gets updated much. I'll just say that. It's very boring. It has like the listing and the way they word it. See the latest rulings of the court, right? With the exclamation mark. And I guess for legal people that would be exciting, but no. So I did find it. There was nothing there about a court case for the schedules. Okay, I'm not saying they don't have to do it. I just couldn't find it. Okay, so that I'm just letting you know my results of what I did. But I found this. Ministry of Justice spokesman Ahmed Laibi said on Tuesday that the Iraqi Facts Department addressed the House of Representatives with an official letter in order to send the schedules of the federal financial budget law for the year 2024 in order to publish them in the official gazette. And if you listen to those 2 brothers in Dinarland, they said, well, we heard that they have it. That the Gazette people have them. They just weren't able to post it yet. So, Laibi explained in a statement to the news that there are communications between the Facts Department and the House of Representatives to complete the procedures and publish the budget tables in the Iraqi Facts newspaper or the Gazette. Remember, I'm reading you a AI, probably artificial intelligence, translated Arabic, right? So, meanwhile, a parliamentary source told the news that this measure comes after the real estate department. After the real estate department returned the budget law schedules to the House of Representatives for the purpose of scrutinizing some articles and paragraphs of the law, but the House was late in sending them again. So it's pretty boring, the rest of it. Let's see, it doesn't have a date. It says the source added the council must return the budget law schedules before the end of this week and the Eid al-Adha holiday to avoid further delays. So if you want to read this, there was an increase done by the real estate bank. This is the very last article on this blog post. So if you click the link, go to the blog post, you want to skip everything else, just scroll all the way down to the bottom, and that article's at the bottom. All right, so I am looking forward to today, Tuesday, to see what it brings. I hope you are too. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate my listeners who take up for me. It's really great. I really appreciate that. All right, so accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals. Pay all your bills. And until next time.